day action between Lietkabelis and Oostende in the Basketball Champions League. Both these teams are very much in the hunt for a playoff place as we get to the business end of the regular season. The importance of every game really has gone through the roof. No space for mistakes. The pressure is starting to pile on the players, which isn't always nice if you're a player or a coach, but it makes some great basketball action for us to enjoy and watch. Remember, top 4 teams of each group make it through to the playoffs. So that's what these teams are fighting for. So here's your game day 11 lineup in Group A. Tipping off 15 minutes earlier than this game was Holland versus Strasbourg. And then tomorrow, big game, Turk Telekom versus Manresa. And also Sassari versus Turan. That will be game day 11. And as I said, top 4 teams progress. And realistically, teams will probably need 7 wins at least to make it through to the playoffs. But if you want to be safe, you want to clock up 9 wins as quick as you can. And that will secure you your place in the Basketball Champions League playoffs for this season. Have a quick look now at the standings here in Group A. As you can see, these teams couldn't really be much closer. Oostende, 5-5 record, sitting 4th. Lietkabelis in 5th, 4-6 record. Could be sitting on the same record at the end of this evening if Lietkabelis are able to defend their home floor. We'll have to wait and see. As the travelling team Oostende are quite impressive. And, a lot of that comes down to consistency in personnel. And they've applied that principle here this season, returning 9 players from their roster from last year. Look out for your man Angola to dominate proceedings in the backcourt, averaging over 14 points per game. And it's the front court duo of Thompson and McIntosh combining for over 25 points. Thompson also pulling down 12.5 rebounds that you have to be impressed with. And that's what this team here, Lietkabelis, will have to deal with. They've had a slow start to their Basketball Champions League campaign. They lost their first 4 games. But you have to give the coaching staff and the players credit. They've won 4 of their last 6. And that's been based on leaning heavily on some of the more experienced players. The veterans at times have really taken the team on their backs and taken them to some wins. Those veterans include the recent addition of Kuksix. That could be a masterstroke. 31-year-old put up 12 points in his first game last week. Alongside him, it really has been the Željko Sakic show at times. He's averaging over 19 points and 6 rebounds per game in this year's Basketball Champions League. Really rolling back the years and putting some masterful performances in. As we wait now for the player introductions, and the Basketball Champions League song rings out in the arena. Some of the Oostende players get some of their football skills, their soccer skills in check before the game starts. And Oostende, they have struggled offensively. It's hard to hide that fact. Even though they've performed well, they've relied heavily on their defensive effort. They have the 2nd worst offense in the group. They're only scoring 75.6 points per game, and that has been exceptionally troublesome because they've scored less than 75 points in the last 7 away games in the Basketball Champions League. And of those last 7 away games, they've only walked away with 2 wins. They are a team that likes playing on their home floor, but they also know they need to buck that trend if they want to make it through to the playoffs. The team that will want to get close to the basket as well. They use their 24 seconds wisely, try and get a high percentage shot, which is lucky really. They have the lowest 3-point shooting percentage in the entire Basketball Champions League, just 27.1%. And I wonder if that's part of the plan, to shoot little from outside, and whether it's an area they need to work on. Home team now, Lietkabelis being introduced to the crowd. They've won 3 of their last 4 home games in the Basketball Champions League, and as I said, slowly but surely they've got their season back on track. And I'm sure people will have been forgiven for writing them off back in November after they lost those first 4 games, but it really has been a renaissance. And they're not going to just stop at that either. They've added to their numbers this week. Gilvidas Biruta has been signed. He was a real expected future star in his younger years, but 2 knee injuries really put a bit of a dampener on that. He hasn't played since the 17-18 season. Obviously, Lietkabelis are hoping that he can come back to some of that magic form he had several years ago. And that could be a huge, huge signing for them. The players are now on court. Wonderfully observed by the crowd here in the arena and both the teams. We're now just a few minutes away from the opening tip. Players exchanging gifts, as are the coaches. The end of the pleasantries as they'll look to go to battle shortly. Officials whistle 3 minutes to play, and our officials this evening are Oskars Lusis from Latvia, Kostolas Kalpakas from Sweden, and Sergei Belyakov from Russia. Strong officiating crew to go along with what is a big game for both of these teams. You do feel if one team can come away with the win, it puts them in the driving seat for taking a playoff spot. Remember, this could go to head as well, so they'll be looking at the points difference situation. Oostende currently hold a 14-point lead in that head-to-head as they won the reverse of this leg in game day 4, 80-66. Oostende, there's your starting five: Angola, Thompson, Sila, Djordjevic, and Mwima. As I said, Angola, Thompson in those two players in the starting five, very, very strong indeed. And Coach Gierja has been in Oostende hot seat since 2011. He's head coach of the Belgian national team as well, so there's a man in Oostende that can get them into the playoffs, and that would be him. And he has to be happy with the team's performance so far. 5 wins, 5 losses. They picked up wins against Holland, Lietkabelis, Toren, Holland again, and Sassari last week. Here's a starting 5 for Lietkabelis: Sakic, Lipkovicius, Sayus, Dimsha, and Valinskas. And, where do you start in that 5? As I said, Sakic very strong. Valinskas had a big game last week. He poured in 17 points against Turk Telekom. Unfortunately, they couldn't come away with the win. And Coach Chanak there in the huddle. I hope his team continue to get better and better each week. That's great as a coach. That's kind of what you want. But whether you like it or not as a coach, you also know that you need to be picking up wins. That's what keeps you in a job. And that's what keeps you in the good graces of the fans and the senior management. So they'll be hoping that this good form continues and they can continue to pick up wins. As I said, the second half of their Basketball Champions League season so far has been much better than the first. And you'd probably say the same about Oostende as well. Like I said, they're got back-to-back wins now, Holland and Sassari. Could be 3 wins in a row for them if they can pick up a win here this evening. Just moments away from the opening tip-off here in Panevėžys. Group A, game day 11. Every game now, every week that passes, the games get bigger and bigger. And as we get ready for opening tip, just a reminder, get your phones out now. Best way to follow everything to do with the Basketball Champions League is the official Basketball Champions League app. Completely free. It's available on Android and iOS, so it doesn't matter what phone you've got. Get it out now, get it downloaded. It will bring you all the latest news and views, all those great highlight plays that we have every week. And jump onto the box score as we go through this. Definitely a great companion to enjoy a game even more. Get into the detail and the depth of those stats. Make sure you download that Basketball Champions League app before we get started. Sayus goes up against Sila and gets things underway here in Panevėžys. Game day 11, Group A, Basketball Champions League action between Lietkabelis and Oostende. Dimsha doesn't take the 3, takes the dribble and shoots the 3. No joy. Sakic bats it back and it falls in to the hands of Valinskas. Feeds Sayus, and what a way to start the game. Martina Sayus with the open dunk. Mwima now waiting for things to unfold in front of him. Pretty static offense to start proceedings here for Oostende. Angola now looking to feed the post, and Chevon Thompson is getting in a bit of a wrestle situation with Sayus. Looks like the foul's going to be called on Sayus. First foul of the game on him. Pass into Angola. He's up short. Sakic comes through, pulls down the rebound. Good outlet pass to Dimša. Dimša, just a little hesitation, drives inside. Quick ball movement back out to Valinskas. Elbow jumper. In and out, but Dimša with a rebound, but he's rejected. Sakic will shoot the three. He's off target. And Mawima with another rebound. Thompson now working hard off the glass. Beautiful soft left hand from the big man. He's averaging over 14 points and 10 rebounds per game, Chevon Thompson. Dimša goes inside, but the defense is great by Angola. Djordjevic now. Hands it off to Angola. Feeds it inside to Thompson again. He's double teamed down in the low post. Great strength by Thompson, and if anything, Sakic should have stayed into the double team. It was limiting him. Sakic the other way, and one. Željko Sakic. Strong move. A veteran guard has been doing it all this year. Foul going to be chalked up against, I think, Mawima. Or is it Djordjevic? No, I think it is Mawima. Oh no, in fact, Sila called for his first foul. First team foul of the game for Oostende. Sakic at the line for the bonus now. 89% from the free throw line, Željko Sakic. And usually misses a free throw, but Lietkabelis picks up the rebound, and Lietkabelis will go again. Valinskas, long two. Iron off target. Djordjevic now. Out to Angola. Off the back of the iron and away. Neither team performing brilliantly offensively at the moment, but nice pace to the game. Sakic inside, and you just can't give him that space. Angola's going to have to body him up a lot more than that. You can't show him any of the lane. You certainly can't push him to the middle. You have to play straight up defense against Željko Sakic, or he'll make you pay. Djordjevic inside to Thompson, who throws it away to Dimša. And Lietkabelis' defense is sparking some great offense at the moment. Oh, rejected though. Amar Sila with the big block. Really seen as a bright spark for the future, potentially, Amar Sila. Senegalese, part of the Real Madrid junior program though. First season here in Lietkabelis. Oh, soft touch by Valinskas. Mawima back to Sila for three. No joy on that attempt, and he's not performed well from outside this season in the Basketball Champions League. Just 17%. Amar Sila. Valinskas now to Sakic. Sakic drives the baseline. Looks like he's pushed out of bounds by Thompson though, and Sakic, as usual, is causing a lot of problems for his opponents. Little crossover from Valinskas. Offensive foul is going to be called. Not sure who that's on. Is it on Sias or Valinskas? If it's on Sias, I think it's his second. Let's have a look. I think it is. Yeah, Valinskas called for the first foul. He's not too sure what the call's about. Doesn't look like some of the fans in the stands agree with the officials either, but very rare. Well, they agree with them 50% of the time. Out it comes. Mawima. No joy from three. Wait to see what it is. Basket's been given. Foul is called. Not sure what this is. The two is given. Sias has been called for a foul. That's going to be his second. No doubt we'll send him to the bench, and we'll see Maldunas, I imagine, come into the action. Obviously off the ball foul. Points are good for Oostende, and I think they'll get possession as well. Just checking the basket's good. It is. Djordjevic now to inbound the ball. Gets it into the hands of Angola. Quick shot away is no good. Thompson's going to fight for the rebound, but it's going to be a Lietkabelis ball as it goes out of bounds. And Oostende certainly have struggled this year from the perimeter. As I said in the build-up to this game, they have the worst three-point shooting percentage in the entire Basketball Champions League. And they're open 3 to start this one, as we see. Smart move from Maldunas, straight into the game and straight away making an impact. That's what you need from your bench. Weem almost gets it taken away. Little Euro step inside, and the finger roll just has enough spin on it to bring it back into the iron. Lietkabelis now to Valinskas. Has he got the mismatch he wanted against Sila? He has. Going to go to Sakic though. Sakic is going to try and back his way down. Djordjevic going to be called for the foul. That could be a fun battle between Sakic and Djordjevic. Certain amount of respect between those two players, but neither of them will back down. Oh, is it stolen away? Almost. Maldunas managed to recover it for Valinskas. Shot clock down to 3. He's going to put up the 3. No good with that attempt, and Angola picks up the long rebound. Draws the foul from Dimsha. First foul on Dimsha, but next foul from Lietkabelis will send Oostende to the free throw line. Just under 5 minutes remaining in his first quarter. That's early to be in the bonus. Pass inside, and Thompson's edged out of bounds, and he steps out of bounds with a pass. That's good defense by Lietkabelis. They've rebbed the lob pass, and as Thompson's gone in the air, he's taken a slight little nudge that's drifted him out of bounds. Second turnover for Oostende. No worries for either team really on that front. Valinskas uses the Maldunas screen, pick and roll. Sila with a good defense, and Maldunas puts up an off balance, soft left hand. Oh, a nice play by Oostende. That's a great read and react. They read how Lietkabelis defense hedged on the screen. Sakic was stuck between Thompson and Angola. And the guard made the right read and got it into the hands of Angola. Just 10 seconds left on the shot clock now for Lietkabelis to work with. What are they going to do? Valinskas. Smart play by Valinskas. Paulius Valinskas drawing the foul for Angola. Having a quick chat with the officials about something that happened down the other end of the floor. Big thumbs up as Valinskas goes to the line, and these teams are obviously 4th and 5th in Group A, and you can see from this opening 6 minutes of action why they're so close in the table. Very closely matched. Valinskas drops his 2 free throws, giving Lietkabelis the lead, and heads to the bench for the break as Normantas comes in for him. Djordjevic back out. Angola off target again. Sila flies through the air but can't hold on to it. Lietkabelis will take possession. And Sakic throws it to where Lietkabelis was, not where he is. And that's going to be second turnover of the game for Lietkabelis. We see Kuksic come into the game. As I said, played his first game last week after joining the team, the veteran. The Latvian international, 31 years old. Scored 12 points in that first game and really turned up in the key moments. Wasn't quite able to get them the win against Turk Telekom. Steal now by Sakic. He's out at the races. is a little bit too heavy. The defense is good enough to put him off. He's barking at the officials for a foul, I think, of Sila. Little step back move from Mouima is enough. It's the big shot. That's the shot they've been looking for. Still only a 2 though from Jean-Marc Mouima. Sakic fakes a 3, draws Sila out for the foul, and Sila, how can he even argue that? As soon as Sakic beat him, he's put his hands on his arms. Sila's not happy with the call. Looked like the right call from me though. A couple of changes to be made, as we'll see Mikhail McIntosh come into the game, and he's been a big player this year. Had 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists against Sassari last week. That was a big game for him. Plenty of experience around the world as well. They'll be hoping that McIntosh can bring it, as you see Coach Gierja have a conversation with Sila. And it's, you know, work in progress. Sila's only 18 years old, plenty to learn, and he'll learn an awful lot on the Basketball Champions League stage. As Sakic hits his free throws and heads to the bench. Angola now to Van der Verst. It's stolen away. Mantas comes back to Biruta. Biruta seeing his first action in the Basketball Champions League. Mantas for 3. Off track, and Lietkabelis had a good shooting performance last week. Yet to find that form this week so far. They do have 6 offensive rebounds though, which is unbelievable. They've been able to work so hard. Thompson's going to get called for the foul. As Maldunas works hard to hold his ground in the paint. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just that left arm pushing out. Coach Gierja not happy. As his big man is forced to the bench on 2 fouls. 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Dimsha in possession for Lietkabelis. Hook 6. He's off target, chased down his own rebound, but it's pulled down in the end by Oostende, and Van der Verst now with the ball. Oh, and it's going to come off the knee of Angola. So Lietkabelis will take possession. Angola looks like he's heading out of the action as well, as we see Boysa come in. Cagey affair so far, low scoring as we'd expect, and it certainly helps Oostende out. They're not known as an offensive firepower, so they'll want to make sure they keep it relatively low scoring and defensive focus. Maldunas, nice pass inside. Biruta can't hold on to it though, and it's pulled down in the end by McIntosh. He's fouled and bodies hit the floor. I think Maldunas is going to get chalked up with that foul. Yeah, it was a clean strip. It was great hands, in fact, by McIntosh. And then the double team from Lietkabelis was a little bit overzealous, and that's going to send McIntosh to the line for 2 free throws. Biruta coming back, not just from 1 big injury, but 2 big injuries, 2 knee injuries. Number 7 for Lietkabelis, rehabbed over in Denver. He says he's feeling strong and ready to go again. Hasn't played since the 17-18 season where he played for Bourges in France. Have to wait to see what he does. For McIntosh, 77% free throw shooter. We'll expect to hit this second one. He gets his first points into the box score. I wouldn't imagine it'll be the last. Big part of their offense, particularly from the second unit. Valinskas now trying to shake, step back, nothing there. Comes back outside now. Oh, and the roll is good for Cook 6. Van der Vers trying to shake his defender. Only 7 left on the shot clock now. They're going to have to do something pretty quick with it. It's into the hands of Boyser, and he nails the 3. Perfect timing to hit that. He's brought it within 1. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. There's about 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. So Oostende will get possession back, potentially could take the lead at the end of the first quarter, which would be huge for them. Shot goes up from the corner. It's off track from Valinskas. Rebound brought down by Maldunas, though. He's not going to get it away in time as the buzzer rings out for the end of the first quarter. As expected, a close affair here in Paneveži, a cagey encounter. But at the end of 10, Lietkabelis 17, Oostende 16.
Marko, okay. Best to recap, go down. Best to Gilwas, okay. Martina set screen here. Go up. Pass the ball. Vale. Go up.
There are some of the highlights from that first quarter's action, and certainly an interesting one. Cagey, neither team really getting their offense firing early on. You don't really expect it. Neither team is known for pouring the points in, particularly Oostende, but at the end of the first quarter, Lietkabelis lead by just 1 point. Leading them is, as you would expect, Sakic. He's got 6 points, 2 rebounds already. Oostende, they have 3 players, all on 4 points. Mwima, Angola, and Thompson. Thompson's also got 3 rebounds to his name. Angola's got 5 rebounds. So Oostende leaning heavily on their stars in that opening quarter. But as I said, this doesn't get much bigger. This is the biggest game of the Basketball Champions League season for both of these teams, because they'll see both of them as battling it out potentially for that last spot. The teams that sit above them in Group A are clear of the Manresa, Turk Telekom and Sassari all have 7 wins. Oostende have 5, so they're 2 games back with only 4 games to play, so maybe they're out of reach slightly. So it could be a battle between effectively 4 teams for 1 place. Oostende on 5 wins, Lietkabelis on 4, Holon on 4, and Strasbourg on 4 as well. This is bubbling up nicely, Group A. McIntosh now goes to the corner to Boyser. Now into the post. What can Desiron do? Old school drop step. It's good for the 2, and Oostende start the second quarter well and take the lead. Beruta hands it back now to Valinskas. Goes down into the low post. Sayas goes to work. Big man goes strong, but the defense from McIntosh and Desiron is good enough to put him off. Schwartz now. Waiting to see who the foul's called on. Is it on Beruta? Looks like it is. That's his second foul. And that's 2 of their main front court players, Beruta and Sayas, now both on 2 fouls early here in the second quarter. Offensive foul. That one's going to get chalked up against Yannick Dessler on a moving screen. Valinskas now hands it back to Kuksix. Normantas and Lietkabelis are always patient offensively. They know they should get options in their offensive sets, and there's a great option for Magidis Normantas. A long 2, and it's good to get the lead back for them. His first score of the game as well. To have averaging 7 points a game in the Basketball Champions League this season. Foul is called in the basket. It's good. I think Normantis is going to get called for the foul as Schwartz just floats his way to the basket. And in the end, it became an easy score. And he'll head to the line for the bonus shot. His first 3 throws of the Basketball Champions League season. Loic Schwartz. Sayers now in the low post going against Yannick Desseron. Trying to use his upper body strength to barrel his way to the basket. He does so and he gets the roll this time. And this is obviously an intentional ploy by Lietkabelis. They certainly have a beast of a big man in Martinez Sayers, and they're going to use him to full effect. Is the 3 good from McIntosh? It isn't. Oostende need to be careful that they're taking rash opportunities. Valinskas now takes the 3 steps inside. The defense recovers well. Normantis, little jab step, opens some space up. Same from Valinskas, and he's fouled by Loic Schwartz. His first foul. Second foul of the quarter for Oostende. Let's just have a look, and yeah, he just didn't realize that the shot was going to go up. Normantis now. Hesitation inside to Sayers. One-handed flush. And it's the great pass, and they really are playing that big man, little man game well. The high pick and roll is starting to open up easy opportunities for Lietkabelis. Boyce goes baseline to Desseron. Oh, wow, that's a tough shot. Almost looked like it was a lazy shot, but it's obviously something he has in his arsenal. Normantis inside Sayers. No good. There's the push from behind. Sayers couldn't get it to go. So it'll be a baseline ball for Lietkabelis. Foul called on Boyce. Out to Sayers now. He's going to hand it off. The shot's there if he wants it. Valinskas does want it. Doesn't get it to drop, though. And still both teams struggling from range. Schwartz being harangued by Valinskas. Back out to McIntosh. Moves it across to Van der Vers for 3. And Oostende off target as well. Normantis in full flow. Wait to see where the foul is called. That one's on Yannick Desseron, which is tough because I think he's running to his own player. It's his second foul, and Oostende now will send Lietkabelis to the line for the remaining 6:18 of this quarter. Normantis heads to the bench as Dimsha comes back into play. Dimsha tries to find Sayers. Sayers is interrupted, though, by Van der Vers, bumping the cutter. Schwartz now, little fake, trying to shake Sakic. Pulls up for the long 2 instead and drains it. Loic Schwartz has come to play, that's for sure. Oh, and he's stolen it away. Well read. McIntosh trying to back his way to the basket. Goes up with a soft right hand, and that's going to be a 4-point lead for Oostende. That's their biggest lead of the game. And that has forced Coach Chanak to call a timeout for Lietkabelis. They want to talk things over, and it really is one of those games where it doesn't need to be a big lead. It's going to be low scoring. You want to correct things as soon as you can. Let's jump into that Lietkabelis huddle.
Help here. Stay here. Left take Richard. Yeah, guys, too many laps, too easy, everything is too easy. Soccer without foul, make foul here. Okay. Play first offense. Now play.
Lietkabelis and Filou.
That's the jumper from Loic Schwartz. He stole the ball away the next possession as well. And then McIntosh backed Sakic down, and it was just the pure power of McIntosh that Sakic wasn't able to stay with. Bought him enough space. Get that little baby hook away. And that's given Oostende this 4-point lead with 5 minutes 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Oh, almost knocked away. And the foul is going to be called on Boysa for pushing Valinskas out of bounds. Second foul on Boysa. There have been plenty of fouls in this game so far. Both teams playing relatively rough forms of defense. And yeah, Boysa really didn't need to lean on Valinskas. He was going to fall out of bounds of his own accord. Instead, he sent him to the line. 83% free throw shooter is Paulius Valinskas. Had a big game, as I said last week, against Turk Telekom. Almost stolen away by Van der Verst. Are they going to get it over the half? It doesn't look like they are. Stolen away by Valinskas. Great defense by Lietkabelis. Comes back out to Lietkabelis, to Valinskas, and Sias is going to post up against Poifontaine, who's into the game for the first time, and Olivier Poifontaine is going to get called for the foul. Sias knew straight away that first bounce sent Poifontaine back about half a metre. As soon as he saw that, he knew he could take him to the basket. That's exactly what he looked to do. Timeout called. Little over 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 2-point lead for Oostende. Got some foul situations to deal with, so let's listen to Coach Gierge.
Get the ball, run, Oli, spread it, go, dribble Mike, coincide, Kendall here, with you or other guard on the wing, into pick, go side to side, you take the ball, don't turn the ball over, okay, this is naive, they have only 2 team fouls, they will spend fouls, hey, rebound, team.
That's a fair point from coaching staff there. They've only got 2 team fouls. This is naive. It's the right call. They need to go at them, be more aggressive on the offensive end, draw those fouls. And the other stat in that timeout that's impressive is, Lietkabelis have got as many offensive rebounds as they have defensive rebounds. 7 on both ends of the floor. Sias hits his first. Back at the line for his second. Sias' biggest game was game day 9 against Manresa. He had 14.6 rebounds in that one. He's on track to better that here this evening. Carl McIntosh now bringing it up the floor. mixing things up, trying to disrupt Lietkabelis' defense. But again, let's see if this Oostende team listen to the coach and go at them. McIntosh is going to, and straight away draws the foul. What a big and one play. Mikael McIntosh. A wry smile on Sakic's face. He knows McIntosh has got him there. McIntosh will go to the line for the bonus shot. First foul on Sakic. Great to see a player execute exactly what his coach asked him to do straight out of the timeout. McIntosh now up to 6 points. A little over 8 minutes played for him, so great production once again from Mikael McIntosh. Lietkabelis now trying to get his way to the basket, goes for the tough right hand off the glass, and the defense was just too good, but it's going to be stolen away by Valinskas, and he gets the two. That's poor play by Van der Verst. And Lietkabelis again are going to apply some pressure. This time McIntosh once again, spin move to the basket. No good this time, and Sakic with the roar as he brings down the rebound. Sakic now, I think he wants to give McIntosh some of his own medicine. Gets him inside, off the glass for two. And he doesn't step away. That's turning into a wonderful battle between Sakic, who's up to 8 points now, and McIntosh, who's on 6. Van der Verst skips it to the weak side into the hands of Fontaine. No good for him. Lietkabelis with the point lead at the moment. 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Sakic, long two is no good, but McIntosh is going to be called for the foul. And once again, the pick and roll dynamic worked near perfectly for Lietkabelis. And just as McIntosh was getting into his stride, he's going to come out of the game. It's only his first foul, but the coach is going to bring in Sealer. You can see that McIntosh isn't particularly happy with being taken out. Coach Gierge is going to have a chat with him, explain his thought process. Oh, doesn't get the roll this time. Sayas. It's the second to go though, and he'll head to the bench as Maldunas will take his place for probably the remainder of this second quarter. Certainly been an important part of the resurgence of Lietkabelis has Martinez Sayas. Good ball movement by Oostende. Fontaine is going to lose it off his knee. Lietkabelis will take possession. Yeah, it's come straight out of his hands. I think he's claiming he might have been fouled. Tough to see where the foul was from that angle, and that's already 10 turnovers for Oostende. That's tough for the coaching staff to take. Don't get me wrong, most of it's off the back of some great defense from Lietkabelis. Sakic kicks it out. Wide open jumper is good. Lietkabelis just nails the three. And Lietkabelis have their biggest lead of the game. They're 5 points clear now. Under 3 minutes to play. The fans in the stands will think the beers taste a little bit sweeter when your team's in the lead. Let's jump into the Oostende huddle and let's listen what Coach Gierge has to say.
I want to play 101. If it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be on the baseline, aren't they? He's good passer on this, hey. We hurry in the offense. Hey. Go with the motion side one. Continue motion side. Okay, when we have staggered, and we have a player at the bottom of them pick. They ice now because they try twice. Roll behind the back. We attack. Follow the open pass.
And this is where the Lietkabelis leaders come from. It's tenacious defense, and look at Sakic taking the gauntlet that was thrown down by McIntosh personally, and you see he's not stepping back from the fight for a second. Psychological warfare already begun in this one, that's for sure. Sakic taking it straight to Oostende, and the big couple of minutes ahead of us now as the Lietkabelis defense continues to apply that full court pressure. And if nothing else, it burns an absolute ton of time off the shot clock for Oostende. Djordjevic now sweeps it through, and he's fouled by Normantas on his way to the basket. Looks like he's earned himself a trip to the line, the veteran point guard, Dusan Djordjevic. Second foul on Normantas. Let's have a look. He reaches in and saying there's no foul. That's what Lietkabelis is saying. They're saying it's just an out-of-bounds ball, but the officials see different as Djordjevic goes to the line. Real emotional leader of this team, the captain, Djordjevic. 9th season with the club. He's been the MVP in the Belgian league twice. 90% from the free throw line. Not only is he spiritual leader, an emotional leader, but he's getting it done on the box score as well. His first points of the game. Foul's going to be called. Wait to see who that's on. Looks like it might be Fontaine. Yeah, just bumping the cutter. And that's going to send Sakic to the line for 2. And there's some simple mistakes. And Fontaine is an experienced enough player not to be making those kind of mistakes. By all means, you bump the cutter, but you can't make it so obvious. And just give the point to Lietkabelis, but they fought for it, and what hustle from Lietkabelis. He's knocked it off Amar Sila's body, and it's going to remain in the hands of the maroon of Lietkabelis. Fans appreciating that. Sakic for 3. He knew he was off target with that. Rebounding fight has been won eventually by Amar Sila. But once again, Lietkabelis' defense is just relentless at the moment. It's smothering on the full court. Mawima now to Angola. Angola trying to find a lane. There is no lane. He's going to put up the 3 instead with the shot clock running down. The long rebound falls to Dimsha, and he draws the foul from Sila. And the young man has been out-hustled there by Thomas Dimsha. And that's just a heads-up play to draw that foul. Third foul on Sila as well. That's going to limit his minutes. He's only had under 9 minutes of play. And there's your learning curve. They're going to have a look at the review as well to see if it's an unsportsmanlike foul. Let's see this one. Wow, when you look at that, you really do see how hard Dimsha worked to draw the foul. Almost grabbing Sila's arm in. I'm not sure Sila can be called for an unsportsmanlike foul in that situation. I think it just stays a regular foul, but we'll wait to see what the officials call. Not sure what they've called. We'll wait and see. I think it's just a regular foul that's been blown. Dimsha will go to the line for 2 shots. Not a great free throw shooter, Thomas Dimsha. One of the weaknesses in his game, only 68% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game, which is crazy when you think he shoots over 40% from 3. Maybe he's just a little bit too close. Connects with the second, and Lietkabelis' lead is back up to 5 points and just 1:47 left in this second quarter. We see McIntosh come back into the game. No real surprise. Amar Sila goes to the bench on 3 fouls, and let the Sakic and McIntosh battle recommence. Djordjevic now floats inside. Great screen by Yannick Desseron. Just opened up the lane for him with a smart seal-out screen. Mantas now back to Dimsha. Dimsha hesitation, almost a trademark hesitation, but the pass is intercepted well by Angola. And Oostende with the opportunity to potentially tie the game here. Angola now back out. Djordjevic. Shot clock down to 5. What's he going to do with it? He skips it to McIntosh. Catch and shoot for McIntosh. Good chase out by Sakic was enough to put him off. In the final minute of the first half now. Normantas backs it out. Drives inside, tries to skip it back, but the pass is intercepted. Oostende out at the races, but they'll slow it down. Go 2 for 1. Djordjevic is short, grabs his own rebound. Oh, great play by the veteran. As he's fallen out of bounds, he slams it off the feet of Sakic. And a little smile on his face as he looks at his teammates on the bench. Sakic just couldn't get his feet out of the way quick enough. He tried. No joy. Djordjevic, skip to McIntosh. Someone's going to have to shoot it soon. Shot clock at 4. Long shot goes up from Mawima. Nothing there, but the ball falls back into the hands of McIntosh. Players on the floor hurt. They're going to stop things as Lietkabelis is in the lane. Could get stood on at any moment. Not sure what happened. We'd probably have to see a replay to pick out what injury he's had there. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just the screen, and that is a tough one. He's walked straight, blindsided into the shoulder of Yannick Desseron. That is going to rattle your brain somewhat. And Lietkabelis is back to his feet. He's certainly made a tough stuff. Tanis Lietkabelis has had some big games. 15 points, 8 rebounds against Telecom last time out. Officials having a conversation at the moment. To see what the outcome of that conversation is. Sakic is, as always, making sure his feelings are felt. Foul has been called. We're not sure where or how at the moment. We'll wait to see as that comes through. Officials still having a conversation about next steps. 2 shots has been awarded. There's the injury. See the blind side as Lietkabelis just walks into Desseron. And there's a bit more conference going on with the commissioner as well. Need to make sure things are right. Games don't get much bigger than this. Holding foul has been called on, I think, Željko Sakic. That's what the two are going to be rewarded for. I'm not sure if they're going back to look at the Lietkabelis injury, whether that's what they want to look at. As I said, it's important calls. This game could be won or lost by a single shot, a single possession. The officials, as frustrating as it is, are right to take their time to get the decision. For me, if I'm honest, that's an offensive foul. It's an illegal screen. He's not set. He's still moving as Lietkabelis just walks into him. I'm not sure it's the most appropriate song to be playing. Get out the way. Maybe they should have played it a little bit earlier, and Lietkabelis might have been able to get out of the way of that heavy-handed screen. That's what the officials are looking at, I think. Still on the floor, and players all around him. Dangerous position to be in. Officials absolutely right to stop the game for his safety, if for no other reason. Again, we see it as Moima put the shot up. That was when Lietkabelis just got absolutely blindsided by the almost sideways screen of Deseron. Have to wait and see what the officials call. For me, it's an offensive foul, no more. But I don't think they are going to call that. I think that probably would have had to been called in game. Wait to see what the call is now. So it looks like we've come to some kind of understanding of what the call is, and ultimately it's going to send Valinskas to the line for 2 shots. And Djordjevic has been called for the foul. And the first is good to go for Valinskas. 15.2 seconds to play in this first half. As we see, can connect with both his free throws, and the Lietkabelis lead back up to 5. Valinskas up to 10 points now. First player in double digits. Djordjevic uses the screen from Moima. Throws up a really tough prayer of a shot as the end of the first half rings out in the arena. Exciting first half of action we've had here. Low-scoring affair, but at the end of 2 quarters, Lietkabelis 39, Oostende 34. There's your shooting stats from that first half. As you can see, no great trees being pulled up from the perimeter. Great rebounding work, though, by Lietkabelis, leading 21-15, and even more impressively, 8 offensive rebounds in that first half. They've been crashing the boards very, very hard indeed. As I said, Valinskas on 10, Sakic 9, Sayus on 9 as well for Lietkabelis, and then for Oostende, McIntosh 6, Schwartz 5, and Moima, one of several players, on 4 points. Predicted a low-scoring affair, and that's what we've had so far here this evening. Cagey start to the game is what we were dealt, as both teams really tried to establish themselves early in that first quarter. Neither team really laying claim to control of the game. Lietkabelis manages to win that first quarter 17-16. They won the second quarter as well, 22-18. And that's what's given them this 5 points lead. As I said, on the back of Valinskas, he's got 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 steals to his name already. Just behind him As you'd expect, Jelko Sakic, he's on 9 points, 5 rebounds. And Martinez Sayas is on 9 points as well. For our visitors, Oostende, well, their scoring is certainly spread. No real big scorers. Kyle McIntosh has got 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals to his name. Loic Schwartz has 5 points. And then behind him you have Thompson, Angola, Deseron, Djordjevic and Mwima all on 4 points. An interesting opening half to this game, and what a big game this is. As I said, Oostende entered the game 5-win, 5-loss record, 4th in the group. Lietkabelis, they're 5th in the group, 4 wins, 6 losses. If Lietkabelis take this win, it will move them onto the same record as Oostende. Now remember, it could go to head-to-head, so don't expect Lietkabelis to take their foot off the gas, even if they do take a big lead. The reverse of this fixture was won by Oostende, 80-66, so they'll be wanting to at least win by 15 to claim their head-to-head victory over Oostende, just in case that comes into play, and you just never know. Remember, 8 teams in Group A, and only 4 of them can make it through to the playoffs. It's the end of European competition for the season for the other 4. And these teams working hard to make sure that their European season continues as long as they can. Still 20 minutes to play here. A cagey affair, a low-scoring affair, dominated by the defense of primarily Lietkabelis. Has left us with an intriguing game on our hands at the halftime break. Game day 11 here in Panevėžys. Lietkabelis lead 39-34 over Oostende. We'll be back shortly with all the second half action in what is an intriguing encounter of European basketball.
Turned over as just quicker. Oh, he just throws it down. The steal and the throwdown, quickness. And he's not taking any prisoners on this one.
Dalton hands it off. Boacek. Oh, the big finish by Hankins.
Pereira lines it up in transition again. It's off. Defensive rebound. No. Oh, what a pass.
Oh, lovely back door and the finish from Simpson.
Inside for the throwdown. Big time move by a big time player.
Two-on-one, three-on-one break. Oh, what a block. Oh, what a block by Shorter. This is the play of the game.
Welcome back to Panevėžys. We're at the midpoint here of game day 11, Group A, between Lietkabelis and Oostende. And a cagey, tight tussle we've had so far in the first 20 minutes. Lietkabelis hold a 5-point lead at the half-time. 39-34 is their lead. Paulus van der Linskas has led them with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Sakic and Sayas have 9 points apiece as well. For Oostende, they've spread the scoring. Their leading scorer only has 6. McIntosh, he has 6, 3 boards as well. Schwartz has 5, and then Angola, Deseron, Djordjevic, Moima and Thompson all have 4 points apiece. But it really was the intensity of the Lietkabelis defense in that second quarter that's enabled them to gain a 5-point lead in what is a low-scoring game. And how important could that 5-point lead be going into today's game? Oostende are in 4th, Lietkabelis are in 5th, and remember, only those top 4 teams make it through to the playoffs. After tonight's game, there'll only be 3 more to play in the regular season, so the pressure is mounting on both these teams. Remember, before we start the second half, the best way to stay on top of all the Basketball Champions League action, get your phones out, download the official Basketball Champions League app, available on iOS and Android. It will give you all the information and entertainment that you'll ever need. Get that downloaded now. Great accompaniment to have in your hand while you're watching the Basketball Champions League. Follow the box score, get into the nitty-gritty and the detail of the game. We're just a few seconds away from the start of this second half. Coach Pierre there. Nervous expression on his face. Here we go, start of the second half here in Panevėžys. Game day 11 of Group A. Lietkabelis 39, Oostende 34 at the halfway. So much to play for both these teams. They really both need to come away with the win. Sakic now looking to back down. Angola goes inside. Thought he'd drawn a foul. Defense looked pretty straight up to me. Angola now back to Djordjevic. And Oostende once again patient on the offensive end. Going to run some pick and roll. Pass goes inside. Big move. Chevon Thompson. And that's been one of the problems Oostende had. Thompson picked up 3 fouls early in that first half. Hasn't been on the floor maybe as many minutes as he would have been otherwise. He'll need to protect this 4th foul though, that's for sure. They don't want him picking up early. Sayas goes inside, can't get the score. And Oostende with a strong start to this second half. Moima to Thompson. Finds his way round and gets another 2. His handle and his footwork is maybe a little too much for Martinez Sayas to guard on his own. Maybe we'll see a double come down from Lietkabelis on the defensive end. Thrown away again. Oostende with a chance to take the lead unbelievably after just 90 seconds of this second half. Inside of Thompson, but a foul is going to be called on Sayas. That's going to be his 3rd, I think. Is it Maldunas that's going to jump in this place? And the reintroduction of Thompson has been huge. Sayas will go to the bench, shaking his head. Djordjevic now. Sends it long to Thompson. It's knocked away by Maldunas. Great play by Maldunas. Oh, but he's missed the easy 2. Absolutely criminal by Gabrielius. Maldunas steps out of bounds, I think. Moima just as criminal at the other end, stepping out of bounds to the corner 3. But we're back where we were. Lietkabelis with possession. 12th turnover now for Oostende. Not a number that coach Gierge will be happy with. Good quick hands though by Angola, who stripped it away. McIntosh against Sakic. Foul's going to be called on the floor. Sakic giving up the early foul, I think just his second foul. It's already been a wonderful battle between Sakic and McIntosh. And the wily old Željko Sakic. He's committed more fouls than any other player in the Basketball Champions League, but he's only fouled out of one game so far. To say he knows how to play the game is an understatement. Thompson, easy left hand jam for Chevon Thompson, and at the moment Lietkabelis have no answer for the big man. They cannot stop him. He is taking absolutely anything he wants. And Maldunas really doesn't need to double down away from Thompson, that's for sure. Oostende now with the 1-point lead. What a first 2.5 minutes of the second half it's been for the Belgian side. Rebound, who is it? Chevon Thompson again. 4 rebounds, 10 points to his name. Make that 5 rebounds, in fact. He can stay out of any more foul trouble. Oh, and the big 3 as well. What a start to this second half for Oostende. It is going all their way. A 9-0 start has rocked the crowd, rocked Coach Chanak and his players. Timeout called by Lietkabelis. They trail by 4 after entering the third quarter up by 5. Unbelievable. Let's listen to this Lietkabelis timeout.
If you're rating, go here. Go here. Continue, make spin down.
And he has caused havoc already in this second half, Chevon Thompson. As I said, didn't play a huge amount in the first half, but he has been unstoppable so far in the first just shy of 3 minutes of this second half, and he's the reason they currently lead by 4. He's been involved with everything that's good about Oostende here in the third quarter. Maldunas now gets it to Lietkabelis. Back out, Valinskas for 3. He's short, very flat trajectory on that shot. Always going to be tough for the ball to go in when you don't get it high enough. Thompson sets the screen again. They've got the mismatch they want to McIntosh. Shakes him, defender, but blows the dunk. Would have been a huge play. Thompson rolls to the basket. Maldunas did everything he could to draw the foul. I think he was in the restricted zone, though, so it's going to be unlikely for the officials to call it. No, he was outside. To be fair, he'd done well to establish himself outside, but he's still moving laterally, so the officials aren't going to call that one. And Oostende's lead, unbelievably, is up to 6 now. What a turnaround to this game. 11-0 run to start the third quarter, and Lietkabelis have come out of the locker room asleep at the moment. Valinskas drives inside, tries to come back out to Sakic. Shot clock down to 3. What's he going to do? Step back 3 from Željko Sakic is short. The rebound, no, is going to be won by Lietkabelis. Valinskas for 3. He's short. And the three-point woes continue for Lietkabelis. They've only made 2 in the game so far. Thompson now to Mwima, sorry, to Angola. Angola, McIntosh, Djordjevic. Off target. Offensive foul's going to be called on Thompson, and that could be huge. That's his 4th, I think. You can see where the foul is. He's pushed Maldunas in the back to get positioning. That could be an absolutely massive call by the officials. Just his third foul, sorry. Just his third, but still going to take him out of the rotation. They're not going to risk him this early. Deserum will come in. To be fair, Thompson's already made himself a pain, a thorn in the side for Lietkabelis. What can Lietkabelis do now that Thompson is on the bench? Normantas to Sakic. Sakic just weaves his way in, out to Valinskas, open for three. Surely he's got to get it to go, and he does, and you can see the relief from Paulius Valinskas. Just grateful to see a three drop. He's up to 12 points personal now. Oostende's lead is down to 4. Angola trying to use the screens as best he can. The foul's going to be called, I think, on Maldunas. Third team foul of the quarter on Lietkabelis. Still over 5 minutes to play as well. Just the first foul on Maldunas, though. That'll be a relief. Djordjevic now with the ball. Skips it to the corner. Oostende, Angola. Big three! Wow, that was a long, long way downtown. Angola starting to find some range. Oh, Valinskas throws the pass away. He gets the dagger look from Normantas. And at the moment, the Lietkabelis flow is falling apart on both ends of the floor. Tomasz Dimscher will come back into the game for Valinskas. And Van der Verst enters the action for Djordjevic. Angola now. He's going to step back even further to shoot the three. They're going to chase him out, you have a feeling. Big three again from Angola. Off track. The foul's going to be called on Dimscher, though. So they've over-chased the shooter, committed the foul. And Angola's going to go to the line for 3 free throws. Second foul on Dimscher. Lietkabelis now. No more fouls to give as well in the quarter. Dimscher still arguing his case, saying Angola's flicking his feet out. How am I supposed to get out of the way? None of that matters as Oostende extend their lead to 8 points now. And the first double-digit lead of the game for either team. What a big play by Oostende in the first 5.5 minutes of this quarter. A 15-point turnaround in just 5 minutes. Unbelievable performance from Oostende. Sakic inside, he's rejected, but the offensive foul has been called. Great stand, I think, by Angola. Yeah, he takes a huge stand, hits the hardwood pretty hard. And this has been the key for Oostende. It's not just about the offense starting to click. Their defense has cranked up a few gears, and Sakic will head to the bench. I think that's his third. You can see the anger from the guard. Strong move again, and Angola is taking over this game. He's up to 15 points now, and he's taken the team fully on his back. If Oostende are able to come away with a win here this evening, what a massive win that will be. That will keep them in 4th, no matter what the rest of the results are around Group A here on game day 11. They'll hold on to that elusive 4th spot. Oh, thrown away this time. Van der Verst now slows it down. Smart play by the 18-year-old. Old head on young shoulders with that move. Angola for 3. Not this time. Normantus doesn't use the Maldunas screen. Mandevers stays in front of him. Hands it back to Maldunas, into the corner, now to Dimsha. Dimsha back to Biruta. No good, and the rebound. Mawima just manages to hold on to it, being hustled hard by Lietkabelis. Vandevers now. Back to McIntosh, little shake, trying to lose his defender. Lietkabelis stays with him, but McIntosh extends the arm and floats it off the glass. What a quarter of basketball for Oostende. 2:37 left in the quarter. They lead by 14. That's a 19-point turnaround since the half-time break. Unbelievable play by Oostende. They've silenced the crowd here in Panevėžys. Another timeout called by Coach Chanak. He needs to find an answer, and he needs to find it fast. Let's listen to his huddle. Lietkabelis reintroduced the ball to play, and a huge hill for them to climb now. Not one they were expecting at the half-time break. They'd have been relatively happy with what they'd done in the first two quarters, but Oostende have more than undone that here in the third quarter. It's only taken them 7.5 minutes to have a 19-point swing in this game. Unbelievable. There's no way I'd have predicted that Oostende would have come out with this performance here in the second half, but they have. And it's now down to Lietkabelis to try and find a way back into this game. Dimsha for three. No good. Mawima battles for the board and saves it from going out of bounds. And you can hear by the quiet whispering almost in the arena, a few horns but nothing more. Just how shell-shocked the fans are here in Panevėžys. McIntosh now, drop step. Kicks it out, Vandevers fakes the three, steps back, takes the three. No good, Dimsha with the rebound. Buksic now, shot clock down to 10. Biruta, Sayas, and one, Martinez Sayas, Deseron. The Oostende player caught on the wrong side of Sayas. Chance for a three-point play, and this is how they're going to get back into it, and it's the right call. He's bodied him, pushed him with his hips as he's gone to the basket. As Valinskas will come back into the action for Lietkabelis. Can he convert from the line? He's up to 11 points personal, putting in the shift yet again, the big man. And he gets the extra point to go. 11-point lead now for Oostende. And you have a feeling that the idea of leaning the head-to-head, stolen away though, Valinskas blows the dunk, but the follow-up from Dimsha is good for two. And just like that, the lead is down to single digits. Lietkabelis down by just 9 now. Timeout called by Gierja. Coach Gierja for Oostende needs to talk it over. This is why we love basketball. This is why we love the Basketball Champions League. The momentum shifts so quickly, and coaches and players have to react. Let's jump into the huddle. Let's listen to what Coach Gierja has to say.
Big spaces. Follow.
Lietkabelis and Filou.
And there's the final play that forced the change, and it's quick hands there by Valinskas. It's a good chase down by Schwartz. He manages to tap it away, actually. That'll probably get penciled down as a block, but Dimscher's the first player there to follow and gets the two. Lietkabelis have mounted a little bit of a comeback now. Just 1 minute 20 left in this third quarter. Lietkabelis trail by 9 to Oostende. Good defense. McIntosh picks up the scraps, though. Can't get it to go a second time, and Oostende come away with possession. 8 seconds on the shot clock. McIntosh now for 3, long range. Oh, string music for McIntosh. That's a big play coming out of the timeout. Oostende back up to a 12-point lead now. Big shot is no good. Kuksic's off track from the top. Under a minute to play in this third quarter. And Oostende have absolutely dominated proceedings. McIntosh fakes, drives inside, is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. Not sure who the foul's on. Is it on Sias? Lietkabelis will be hoping it isn't. It looked like the foul was earlier, maybe on Dimscher. I think it was, yeah. Third foul called on Thomas Dimscher. McIntosh at the line. Connects the first of his 2. Plenty of experience, McIntosh. Played Canadian junior basketball, played in the Under-19s World Cup back in 2013. Part of the Portland Trailblazers Summer League in the NBA in 2018. Not quite broken through into the NBA, but bringing his talents to the Basketball Champions League, and they're appreciated as we see him go to the bench and Sealer come back in. 14-point lead for Oostende now. And look at that, 10 from 11 from Oostende from the free throw line. Near automatic from the Belgians. Out a 2-second differential shot clock, game clock. Lietkabelis now with possession. Inside, Sias, Dimscher fakes the 3, steps in, puts it up. Too heavy, though. They're going to get another shot away. That's short as well, but the follow by Dimscher is good. And that's going to close out an unbelievable third quarter for Oostende. Absolutely crazy third quarter for Oostende. They outscored them 26-9, and at the end of 3, Lietkabelis 48, Oostende 60. Here are your shooting stats, and as you can see, neither team shooting well from the outside, but Oostende deadly inside, 70%. We said it before the game, that's where they get their business done. Free throw line as well, near automatic. And for Lietkabelis to come back into this one, you have a feeling they're not going to finish this game with such a low 3-point shooting percentage. But the third quarter was really dominated early by Thompson. They were unable to stop him. He took whatever he wanted in the early goings. He went left, he went right. He had all the moves, all the touches. And then you combine that with an increased intensity from Oostende on the defensive end. And that is exactly what enabled them to outscore Lietkabelis 26-9 in that third quarter. You also have to have a hat tip to Angola as well. He came in, put up some big, big shots in that third quarter. Certainly one of the big stars for Oostende, and it was the 1-2 punch that's brought them into this lead. Angola now 15 points, 8 rebounds. Great performance already by him. But 10 minutes still to play. The game is still there for the taking for either team. Oostende certainly in the driving seat as they look to hold on to this treasured, precious 4th place here in Group A. And Lietkabelis, obviously, we're trying to steal that away from them. It's a bit of a mountain to climb now, but It's not insurmountable. They certainly have the talent in their roster and the experience to get it done, but 10 minutes to play here. Group A action, game day 11 of the Basketball Champions League. A 12-point lead for Oostende. Mawima, tough first attempt is no good. Lietkabelis with the rebound. Sakic coming across to set the screen. Valinskas back to Sakic. Kuksic inside to Sakic. Couple of hesitations. Travel, I think, is going to be called on Sakic. Another turnover, and it'll be an Oostende ball. Djordjevic now, the veteran. McIntosh back out to Djordjevic, inside Deseron. McIntosh, great ball movement, wonderful, but 3-second violation called on Yannick Deseron. Not sure if he's expecting a shot to go up, so was trying to establish himself for the rebound. Didn't just establish himself, fully camped out, got the tent out, got the grill out, started cooking stuff up. He was in the paint so long. Sakic now. Lietkabelis, even in this situation, are patient. Kuksic now in the corner, no good. McIntosh with the rebound for Oostende, and Oostende's style of a slower, grind-out style of basketball really will help them now, as they want to time manage and see as much of the clock away as they can. Almost stolen away. Djordjevic holds on to it, though. Deseron off track with that right-hand shot, and Sayas gets the rebound for Lietkabelis. Backdoor pass, and it's gone straight out of bounds. A little bit too low for Kuksic to hold on to. So that'll be an Oostende ball. Oh, it's the right move from Sakic. Kuksic just couldn't quite capture the pass. Would have been an easy two if he had, potentially drawing the foul as well. Mawima now hands it off to McIntosh, gets it back. Thompson's going to go to work in the low post again, and he has been a terror outside. Mawima back inside Thompson. Oh, smart play by Mawima. It really was. The selfish nature of him would have been screaming to say, shoot the ball, take the three. But the right move was to pass it back down into the low post for Thompson to score the two. Oostende play the percentages, and they play that game so well. They really do. And that's what's led them to controlling this game now. They are in full control of this. As we say, Kuksic go back to the Lietkabelis bench. Mawima now feeds Thompson. Thompson against Sayas. Quick skip pass. Schwartz. No good, but foul has been called. I think that one might be on Thompson. That will be his fourth if it is. Have to wait for the officials to call that one. Shevon Thompson with his fourth foul of the game. That could be a ray of light, a glimmer of hope for Lietkabelis. Thompson goes back to the bench, frustrated. Slams his hands together, and I understand the frustration. What kind of impact could he had if he'd actually been on the floor a little bit longer this evening? Strong move to the basket, a little bit overplayed by Valinskas. Oostende will come away with it. Mawima now at the top. Schwartz. Stolen away. Bad pass by Djordjevic in the end. Oh, and he floats high and throws it down hard. Thomas Dimscher. That cuts the Oostende lead to just 12 points now. Good defense leads to easy offense for Lietkabelis, and this is how they established their lead in the first half. You wonder if Coach Chanak is kind of reinforcing that to say, look, our defense needs to lead this comeback. That's where we need to go. But timeout's been called by Oostende. Let's go and listen to Coach Gierge.
Okay. Hey. Listen to me. Next one. You will play corners. Like listen. One. Awesome. You will run and set this. You will run and set this. Handle with your mark. We run. Are you on low, hey, regular course. 1, 2, 3, 10. Hey.
And it really is still down to Lietkabelis to come back into this. This is more time management and game management by Oostende. They still hold a 12-point lead. A little under 7 minutes to play here. Lietkabelis are really going to have to be near perfect on both ends of the floor. Remember, a 12-point lead is one thing, but a 12-point lead in a low-scoring game that we have here makes it even harder. Djordjevic, Mawima, baseline drive, comes back out. McIntosh will take a tough three. No joy. It's over the hand of Sakic, though. Rejected by Sayers, but the foul has been called. Love to see the replay on this one. Sakic couldn't quite hold on to it. Maybe. I think the rejection was clean, but there's a fair bit of body contact. That will send Oostende to the line. 4th foul on Sayers. Not sure there's any point in taking him to the bench now, as Angola drains the first of his 2 free throws. Coach Chanak absolutely fuming at the officials after that call. Drops the second as well. Oostende's lead back up to 14. Normantas. To Sayers. Sayers now looking to go to work against Deseron. Almost stolen away. Dimsha for 3 with the shot clock running down. He drains what could be a huge shot. Oostende's lead is at 11 now. You can feel the fans just urging Lietkabelis along, but Oostende still in control. Their leader, Djordjevic, making sure that they run their offense, that they run it at their own pace, and he floats to the basket for an easy finger roll off the glass for 2. 36 years old, Dusan Djordjevic. Normantas is fouled. Is he going to go to the line for 3 free throws? I think he is. And maybe the experience of Djordjevic was left lacking there. Never fouled the jump shooter. A wry smile on his face. Looks pretty tired though. Looks like he's blowing pretty hard. And that's when the mistakes creep in. Normantas hits the first of his 2. 91% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game. Scored 14 in the reverse of this fixture back in game day 4. It's the second. And Oostende's lead is now just 10 points. Djordjevic now being harassed by Normantas. Angola got the mismatch he wants against Sayers. Puts the drive to the basket, steps back, puts up a tough shot. Can't get it to go, but the rebound is pulled down by Deseron. Very strong offensive rebound. McIntosh, baseline, easy 2 off the glass. Sayers couldn't play defense. He's on 4 fouls. He couldn't step in and create the contact. That's going to be a problem for the interior defense of Lietkabelis, and it's stolen away by Oostende again. Outlet pass to McIntosh, an easy 2, and things are falling apart again for Lietkabelis as Oostende continue to turn the screw. McIntosh up to 17 points, and Oostende's lead out to 14. Timeout called by Lietkabelis. Coach Chanak knows that this is an absolute mountain to climb now, but one that they're going to have to if they want to make it through to the playoffs. Let's listen to what he has to say.
It's everything, okay? It's everything. First of all, make pressure. We get 3 balls to give, okay? Offensively, just pick in transition, okay? So let's help, yes, okay? Let's go. First, 3 guys in the baseline, okay? 1 4, second ball, okay, and touch. Okay? Yes, yes. In transition also. So, you must protect all balls and you must have rebound, okay? I will go.
And this has been the key to Oostende as well. A real team effort. McIntosh has put a big shift in. Angola's put a big shift in. Thompson has. Djordjevic has stepped up when needed. Mawima has stepped up when needed. Schwartz has as well. It really has been throughout the roster. The contribution has been throughout their team. Sakic now inside, kicks it out. Lietkabelis goes inside to Kuksic, to Sakic. Sakic will go up for the 2. Is it enough, though? If they're going to go down the 2-point route, they're going to have to score as quick as they possibly can. They can't be burning way too deep into the shot clock. Djordjevic now waits for the screen. Into the corner to Mawima. There's Aron. Old school left-hand hook is good to go. And that's a near perfect play from Oostende. They burnt a ton off the clock and got the 2 points. Valinskas, and that's the kind of 2 points that Lietkabelis need. They need quick, aggressive, direct plays to the basket. They need to score early in the shot clock if they're going to come back into this one. Mantas now at the line for 2 free throws. These could be big free throws. We'll bring it down to just a 10-point lead for Oostende now. Next with the 2 of the 3. It really is criminal. Fouling that jump shooter, sending them to the line for 3 attempts, particularly players like Normantas. They can hit high percentage of 3s. Mawima should know better. Foul's going to be called on Kuksic, and we might be getting into an early free throw situation here. That said, Oostende shooting the lights out from the free throw line, so I'm not sure it's the smart move from Lietkabelis to be doing it too early. Just a 9-point lead now, though, for Oostende. The closest Lietkabelis have been to their Belgian opponents for a while. As Oostende go to a small lineup. McIntosh playing at the 5. 3 goes up and is good. Mawima seems to turn up when they need him on the offensive end of things. Hits a big 3. Restores the 12-point lead for Oostende. Strong drive to the basket for Lietkabelis. I think it's going to be on Mawima again. That's going to send Lietkabelis to the line for 2, and this is the bonus that the Lietkabelis have. They forced Oostende into the penalty early, so they know if they can force early fouls in the shot clock, they'll get themselves to the line. They'll be able to score points without that dreaded clock ticking. Connects with both, and Oostende lead is at 9 again. Full court pressure now from Lietkabelis again. They've broken through it, and smartly Oostende will slow things down. Shot clock down to 7 now. Mawima for 3. Off target. Sakic tries to get a rebound. Fortunately for Lietkabelis, falls to Normantus. Valinskas misses the 2. It's the right move, though. They need to score early or force the foul at this stage. They trail by 9, under 2 minutes to play now. Are Oostende going to walk away with an unbelievable win? It would be huge. They trailed by 5 at the half. They had a phenomenal third quarter. That's put them in place, and that's going to be a carry on Djordjevic. Pressure starting to mount on Oostende. Like a shark smelling blood in the water, Oostende can smell the wind now. That's when the pressure starts to mount, and there's a hustle on the floor. Jump ball called. It's going to remain with Lietkabelis. Kuksic got tied up by what looked like 4 Oostende players at one point. Dimsha's going to come back in. Kuksic will come out. Ball inbounded to Valinskas now. They don't have time to build something. They need to go to the basket and go to the basket quickly. And this is great defense by Oostende. They're making them burn a load of clock. Oh, but it's a big, big shot. Normantus drains the 3. It is now just a 6-point ball game. 1:25 to play. Angola inside. He's fouled by Normantus. Blocking foul. That will send Angola to the line for 2 free throws. Montes almost was trying to get out of the way. 1:21 to play. 6-point lead from Oostende. Angola 5 from 5 from the free throw line so far this evening. Make that 6 from 6. Up to 18 points personal now. One of the major reasons that Oostende could come away with a win here this evening. Connects with both the 3 throws. Lietkabelis need to do things and do things in a hurry. Normantus 3, no joy. Sakic trying to fight for the rebound, but it's falling into the hands of McIntosh. What are Lietkabelis going to do? They're just going to drop off. They need to apply pressure. They need to double the ball. Angola now gets it away. Djordjevic into the final minute, and you have a feeling that Oostende have earned this win, and boy have they earned the win. Missed there into the hands of Sakic. Can Lietkabelis come back? Sakic for 3. Too heavy this time. Normantus for 3. He's off track as well. 40 seconds remaining now. Oostende in possession. Up by 8. Schwartz to McIntosh. They're going to slow things down. Surely this is it now. Lietkabelis can't come back from this at this stage. Schwartz back to Angola. Shot clock at 3. Angola's going to shoot a way downtown shot. Nothing there. Dimsha comes back the other way. 2 off the glass is no good for Normantus, and that will probably be the end of the action here in Panevėžys. Just 3 seconds remaining, and that will be all she wrote here. Game day 11, Group A in Lithuania, and Coach Chanak shakes his head. But the final score, Lietkabelis 68, Oostende 76. What a game, what a performance. Big game from Oostende. Just remember, let's paint the picture for you. It was a tough first half for both teams. Lietkabelis picked up the defensive intensity in that second quarter. That gave them a 5-point lead at the halftime break. But I don't know what team talk Coach Gierge gave his team in the locker room, but my goodness me, what a team talk it was. Oostende ended up winning that third quarter 26-9. Absolutely unbelievable performance. Lietkabelis did their best in the final quarter to fight their way back into the game, but they weren't able to. They end up losing this one by 8. Here are your statistics. Neither team shooting well from outside. Oostende, great performance from 2 and an unbelievable performance from the free throw line, 93%. Lietkabelis at 85%, so not shabby either. Rebounding battle, pretty even. That was evident this evening from the front court players primarily. Wonderful performances across the board for both teams. Here are your top scorers: Valinskas 14, Sayas 12, Sakic 11. That's Lietkabelis, and for Oostende, Angola 19, McIntosh 17, and Thompson 14. And Oostende really did rely on that team ethos, and Coach Gierge will be so happy. He has a right to have a smile on his face. What a performance his team have put in, and what a position they now find themselves in within the group. They have a real chance of progressing to the playoffs. Those kind of performances help. Angola is obviously going to grab the headlines with 19 points, 9 rebound performance. McIntosh also had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, really chalking up every column of the box score. Mikhail McIntosh and Shevon Thompson, 14 points, 7 rebounds as well. Those 14 points came from 7 field goals. 7 from 7 for the big man for Oostende. For Lietkabelis, their scoring was led by Paulius Valinskas, 14 points for him. Just behind him was Sayas with 12 points, 4 boards. And also in double digits, Sakic with 11, Normantas with 11, and Dimsha with 10. And it wasn't enough for Lietkabelis, although they looked in control of the halftime break. And completely different looking Oostende came out in that second half and put on an absolute clinic in the third quarter. They dominated both ends of the floor, inside and out, in that third quarter. And a shell-shocked Lietkabelis were left, well, at one point down by 14, trying to fight their way back into the game. They didn't quite have enough, and that's why they find themselves where they are now, on the wrong end of an 8-point scoreline. 68 to Lietkabelis, 76 to Oostende. So that means Oostende, at the end of today's game, will stay in 4th place. Lietkabelis will more than likely drop down at least 1 spot. Maybe potentially 2 spots, depending on other results. 3 games left for these 2 teams now. So for Lietkabelis, next week, next Wednesday, they head to Toren before taking on Strasbourg and Holland to finish off their campaign. And for Oostende, you'd say a slightly tougher ask. They have Turk Telekom at home, Manresa at home, and then they finish off with Toren on the road. Big night of action here in the Basketball Champions League. Wonderful game we've had here in the arena here in the wonderful city of Panevėžys. We have been treated to another wonderful spectacle of European basketball here in the Basketball Champions League, and rightfully so. The players are going to enjoy this one. They'll enjoy the trip home. They'll enjoy the flight back and prepare obviously for their domestic season at the weekend before they get back into European action next week. Oostende really playing well, and the coaching staff should be happy. And that's all she wrote here in Panevėžys. what a game we've had. What a treat, what a spectacle. As Oostende come away with that much deserved, much worked for, hard win. 8-point win on the road in the Basketball Champions League. Nothing to be sniffed at. That completes the double over Lietkabelis as well. So they've won both games against the Lithuanian counterparts this season. Here's our Group A standings. As you can see, Oostende hold on to that 4th spot, 6-win, 5-loss record. Lietkabelis now dropped down after Holland beat Strasbourg earlier on today. So Lietkabelis now dropped to 6th place. So much to play for here in the Basketball Champions League, but that's all we've got time for in Panevėžys. The final score, Lietkabelis 68, Oostende 76. Thank you so much for joining me.
Number 15, in finale, 6 minuter, 2 Argentina.